Start. There are many important records that are left in the hands of various organizations of the country, such as the municipalities, the corporations, the different commercial organizations of the country, the chambers of commerce, etc. As has been mentioned by some honorable members here, some are also lying in private hands. The government of India cannot be held responsible for the management and preservation of these records until Parliament passes the necessary legislation declaring these records as records of national importance. Under these circumstances, we presume that the resolution of the honorable member covers only those records which lie in the custody of the government of India, the archives of India, and the different ministries of the central government. It is true that some of the records are also lying with the state government on loan. Sir, these records, in my opinion, can be divided into three groups. The first group is the records which are owned by the government of India, which are created by the government of India by the different ministries of the government of India. The second group is the records which have been presented to the archives of India, as are the Bhopal records. The records of the Bhopal government, the former Bhopal government, have been presented to the archives of India, and the third category is of those records which are purchased by the Indian archives. There is, of course, the fourth variety, as has been pointed out by my honorable friend, the mover of the resolution, that a large number of records of the central government are lying with the state governments. These records have been given on loan to the state governments because they are connected with the administration of those states. They are necessary for carrying out the day-to-day administration of those states. That is why it has not been thought proper to take away those records from the states. They are lying with the states, but the proprietorship, the ownership rests with the government of India. Sir, one thing I may impress upon this house: although all these records are proprieties of the government of India, they belong to the government of India and they are managed by the government of India. Although legally speaking they are managed by the government of India, executive action, factually speaking, they are not so. There is the organization to which a reference has been made by my honorable friends, the Indian Historical Records Commission. This commission is there to give its guidance and expert advice to the government of India for the maintenance of these records. Sir, my honorable friend, the mover of this resolution is thoroughly acquainted with this organization because happens to be a member of that organization. Sir, the Indian Historical Records Commission is a body set up by a resolution of the Government of India in the year 1999. The functions and authority of the Commission have been made clear in the resolution itself. This Indian Historical Records Commission, which supervises and guides the activities of the archives of India and the management of Indian government records, is a consultative and advisory body, but the vast majority of members of this body are drawn from sources other than the Government of India. The present constitution of the Indian Historical Records Commission is the Minister of Education, the Secretary of the Education Ministry, the Director of Archives, and 5 members nominated by the Government of India. In addition to that, there are 25 representatives of the 25 state governments of this country. There are 27 representatives of the 27 universities of India. There are 12 representatives of the 12 top ranking research institutions of this country. Actually, government servants, if we can call them, are only 3: the Minister of Education, the Secretary of the Education Ministry, and the Director of Archives. 5 members are nominated by government. The rest are drawn from other sources. This is the body, sir, that has been appointed under the resolution of the Government of India to give expert advice for the management of these matters. Sir, this body has got 2 other adjuncts: the Research and Publication Committee, which looks after the research and publications of the Indian archives, and the Local Records Subcommittee, which looks after the transference of records from their parent bodies, that is, their creative agencies, the different ministries of the Government of India, to the archives. Then, this body, the Local Records Subcommittee, also looks after indexing and cataloging of the records, and thirdly, weeding of the records also. So, what I am laboring to impress upon the honorable members of this house is that in every step, every activity of the Indian archives, the Government of India is guided by some expert bodies. Sir, the Indian Historical Records Commission meets once in every year, and they survey, scrutinize, and examine in great detail the activities of the archives of India. Perhaps the ground they have covered during the last few years, the subjects upon which they have made recommendations, will convince this honorable house about the interest that is taken by this body. Sir, the Indian Historical Records Commission have advised the Government of India during the last few years about matters relating to the Regional Survey Committee, establishment of record offices in India, qualification of historical documents and inspection of records, preservation of archives. These are only a few of the many aspects of the activities of the Indian archives that have been surveyed and upon which recommendations have been made by the Indian Historical Records Commission during the last few years. Sir, I do not want to say that all the recommendations that have been made by the Indian Historical Records Commission have been implemented by the Government of India, but what I do say, sir, is that bearing a few which could not be implemented either on financial grounds or for other reasons,